Good morning, everybody. My name's David, and I'm coming to you today to talk about the Confederate flag. But before I do that, I'd like to give you guys a little bit of information on myself so you can see my perspective on things and where I'm coming from. 28. I live in the St. Louis, Missouri area. And for those of you who don't know, Missouri was the last slave state in the Union. They were the last to abolish slavery. St. Louis has been known for high racial tensions. And to help put it in a better perspective, St. Louis is home to Ferguson. Ferguson, Missouri is a county of St. Louis and has been known for various racial acts, driving while black, pulling people over, etc., etc., along with a lot of other counties and things of that nature in the area. I'm not a professional. I don't do this for a living. I'm not a Tariq Nasheed. I'm not a Umar Johnson. I respect these brothers greatly, but these brothers have put in time, have put in work, have put in effort. They get paid for their speaking engagements. I'm just a regular brother from the streets of St. Louis. But I am highly educated on a lot of subjects, and I would just like to bring some of my knowledge to you guys and help you see some things. I don't really work that great of a job, but it's a job that the Lord has blessed me with that allows me to pay my bills and be able to pay these tickets in these municipalities so I can go ahead and do what I need to do and start planning for my future, which includes building for not only my family but my community as well. So, now that the introduction is over, today's topic is on the Confederate flag. The issue of the Confederate flag is near and dear to people's hearts for pretty much two main reasons. The black reason is because it represents slavery, and the white reason is because it represents heritage. And as recently as July 10th, 2015, the Confederate flag was taken down from the South Carolina state capitol. And we'll talk about that in a minute. First thing, I'd like to give you guys a little bit of information on the Confederate flag, give you the history, and then once we go into the information, we'll get into my opinions on the matter. So, the first thing is the Confederate flag that we know today is not the actual Confederate states flag. It's the actual flag of war that Robert E. Lee used, which was adopted as the Confederate war flag, or as some call the rebel flag. And yes, slavery happened. It happened in the South. That was their whole economy, having slaves do all the work for free and them profiting off of the free labor. That's what the war was about. Some people disagree, but that's pretty much what it was about. However, don't you ever think that the South was the only one that had slaves. The North had slaves too. In fact, New York had slaves, had slave auction blocks, and I'm pretty sure there were some other states too. So don't think that it was only the Southern Confederate states that had slaves, because it was others as well. But through history, And he who wins war wins history. As we know, the Union, the North, won the war, so they get to write the history. So they get to kind of wash away some of the racial heritage that they have in order to seem more just, more on the right side of good rather than evil. But we know that a lot of these states are racist that practice white supremacy. New York has the stop and frisk law, which mainly stops and frisks black men or men and women of color. Okay, so I mean, we know this is nothing new. We just seen it. But I digress. Now, what you see today as the Confederate flag, as we talked about, is the war flag. But what you probably didn't know is that despite the fact that the KKK being a hate group, it wasn't until the 1940s or the late 30s, late 40s that they start using the Confederate battle flag as a symbol of racism and white supremacy. So the KKK didn't always use the flag for their own benefit to try to further their cause. It wasn't until about 70, 80 years ago that they did. Continuing on, the war was lost by the Confederate. We know this. Yet, in 1965, it has still, not in 1965, but since 1965, rather, it's still been a symbol of racism, white supremacy. Surprisingly, it hasn't gone away. You would think that those who lost the war, that the flag would disappear into obscurity, and it hasn't. In fact, it's probably gained more popularity as the years have gone by. Now, the flag has gone through 3 separate states. The first was the Stars and Bars. It was a flag that closely represented the American flag at the time. It was changed because it was too similar to the flag that the North used. There's also the stainless banner and the bloodstained flag. Okay. Now, to go ahead and make this video short, yes, to a certain extent, the flag does mean heritage. Most of the people who fought in the Civil War for the South did not own slaves. In fact, a lot of them, most of them, majority of them were poor white people. You know what I'm saying? You think the slave owners, the people who owned the slaves, who had that type of money, were going to send their children to fight for their war? No. And it's the same today. You don't see the wealthiest 1% children sign up for any type of military duty. And even if there was a draft, they'd find some way to dodge it. That's what they call a draft dodge. They find some way to get out of it. Now, at the same time, yes, the flag does represent racism. It represents slavery. It represents white supremacy. As we know, the flag was taken down July 10th of 2015 at the South Carolina State House, which we thought was a great victory. Yay, they took down the flag. Hooray for the Union. Hooray for black people. They done taken down the flag. Let me tell you something. If you're worried about a flag, then you're worried about the wrong thing. The flag isn't but a symbol of white supremacy. It isn't white supremacy itself. So you're celebrating the fact that a flag has came down, and you just really don't realize you've actually given the white supremacists more fuel to add to the fire. Because now that you're taking the flag, now they really flying it heavy. Now they putting it on their trucks, putting it on the beds, getting their magnets, getting the stickers. Okay, Walmart and them stopped selling the shirts, but I'm pretty sure they looking, getting the shirts, getting the hats, putting it on their guns and tattooing it on their bodies and all this other stuff like this here. So, again, if you're worried about a Confederate flag, you're worried about the wrong thing. And as a matter of fact, I recently had a conversation with a dude at work who claims to be Native American. It's not for me to say whether he's white, Native American, whatever. But he asked me, he was like, what do you think about the Confederate flag? I told him, to be honest, I really don't give a fuck. I don't care about a Confederate flag. I don't support it. Never have, never will. I don't support the United States of America flag. The one with the 50 stars. And how they took this land through illegal means and shady means. Native Americans, the Hispanics, the Canadians. Yeah, we know. So I do not support neither the Confederate flag or the American flag. I mean, it's really just a symbol. It means absolutely nothing. The Confederate flag is not what's killing these brothers and sisters in the streets. The Confederate flag is not the reason why the ghetto is the ghetto. The Confederate flag is not the reason why black people are still doing bad in this country, despite the fact that we have given it our best efforts to succeed. And yes, we have succeeded. It's gotten better. We can vote. We can go practically wherever we want to. And don't get me wrong, there are some places that are sundown towns. Towns to where only white supremacists live, and you better be out by sundown, otherwise they will tar and feather you, hang you from a tree, and they'll never see your black ass again. There are sundown towns, but for the majority, black people have made strides. And despite the fact that the white supremacists wanting to keep us down, we have made great strides in this country. We've done great things. This country wouldn't be this country without us. And I'm not talking about slave labor. That's part of it, but there's also our culture and things that we've influenced, the things that we have invented that has made American life better and more prosperous. So, yes, we have made great strides. And I was talking to an older black lady about this. And, you know, okay, we could sit at the lunch counter. We could do that. But why would you support a racist restaurant anyways? But that's a topic. That's a topic for another day. But I say that to say this. Yes, we have made great strides as a people, despite the fact that they tried their hardest to keep us down. We keep persevering, but persevering is not enough. We need to thrive, and we need to succeed. And the way we do that is through financial empowerment, financial independence, and understanding white supremacy as we know it. Again, I'm Dave Landrum. You can hit me up on Instagram at Fly Till I Die. That's Fly, FLY, TILLDIEE. That's Fly Till I Die, FLY, TILLDIEE. You can also catch me on Google Plus at King D. So, thanks for watching my video. Please hit me up, subscribe to my channel, comment. Let me know what you think. I'll be more than willing to talk to you about it. Alright? Peace.